Yay Media Group.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Welcome to our brand spanking new studio. This is our new home, and I'm so happy to have you here. And I'm so happy that we're finally here, guys. This has been in the works for a while, and yeah, I hope you guys love it.
Nothing screams professional podcast than having actual talking. What would you call these, babe?
Talking cards.
Talking cards. Spill the Beans podcast. I feel so official right now. And with this whole rebrand, we figured we start off with a bang. So by the title of this video, or I don't even know if it's going to be the title, we have a very special guest today.
Yeah, guys, these cards have nothing in the back. So let me just explain them to you really quick in case you didn't see my TikTok. Basically, I wanted to do these because, as Jonathan said, we are starting our guests back up. Thankfully, we have somewhere to invite everyone to, and it's not just, our house. So with that being said, Jonathan and I have a little trouble, I would say, keeping our thoughts organized. Like, we'll be like, oh, this is what the podcast is going to be about today, and then we'll film the podcast and we're like, we didn't even talk about what we wanted to. So the purpose of these brand spanking new cards that I made, thank you very much, we are going to plan out that podcast topic. So basically just write key points, like things that we really want to hit and tell you guys in the podcast. And this is especially for guests, like a question I really want to ask them, or the title is going to be like blah, blah, blah. So make sure we talk about the title, we don't like get off track too much. This isn't going to be like strict, it's still going to be a easy flow conversation with our guests to get to know them, ask them questions, but just to kind of keep our thoughts organized so that when we leave the podcast or our guests leave, we're not like, oh, I forgot to ask them this important question, So that's the purpose of these. Obviously, we have nothing right now, but I'm going to write it down right now with my guests because I want to kind of explore their mind and see, what they're comfortable with sharing and what they don't want to share. So that's the purpose for our beautiful cards.
Yeah, guys, but this will be a girls talk type of podcast, so your boy is going to skedaddle on here. Good luck, babe, and good luck with the first episode of our rebrand.
Yes.
Don't mess it up.
Thank you guys so much for being here. And without further ado, I present to you our guest. Bella. Where the hell have you been at, Loca?
I knew you were going to start like that.
Wait, that was so good. I didn't even plan it.
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
Yeah. I think
if
I
you know, you know.
Yeah, literally. Actually, that's Jonathan's favorite movies, so.
Really?
Yeah, he loves the Twilight movies.
Really?
Has he ever said that before? Am I exposing him a little bit? Oh my gosh, I have like the butterflies. Mm-hmm. Do you have the butterflies?
Dude, I have everything. I'm nervous, excited, and I'm scared.
I'm super excited, guys. We haven't seen Bella in years. We just did the countdown. It was 4 years.
4 years.
I think 2021, right when I got pregnant with Franco, we went our separate ways.
Yep. We broke up.
We broke up for a bit there. And your life changed a lot, right?
Yeah, it completely changed. I think even people who follow me even on social media, they still kind of wait a minute.
Yeah, they're like, wait, you're a mom? You guys, it's crazy. So just a little backstory in case you're new. Bella was my best friend for a very long time. Mm-hmm. We met straight out of high school. So I graduated high school. Were you still in high school when I met you? Yes, you were, because you were playing basketball.
Yeah.
So we met right out of high school. I met her at Chipotle. Right?
Yeah.
We worked together and she made us some cookies. What were they? Were they the Oreo and
there were the
chocolate chip cookies?
Chip Ahoy.
Yeah.
Cookies.
So she made us those and we worked for a whopping month or two together because no dure.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I quit that show. I was like, fuck that. I'm never doing sauces again.
I'm gonna stick to YouTube.
No, for real. But yeah, Chipotle was kind of hard, but it was fun. And that's where we met. So yeah. We met there. And how did we even go? Shortly after that, we started playing softball together, you think?
Yeah, I feel like we clicked really good. I feel like we made friends. Our friends made friends. Almost.
Yeah. I feel like your friend group adopted me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like straight out of high school, I didn't have many friends. And the ones I did went to college.
Yeah.
So I had no one really in town. Mm-hmm. And your friend group adopted me.
Yep, pretty much.
And it was amazing.
It was.
You guys know the pals.
If you know, you know.
Literally, if you go back years down my YouTube, you will see her in all my videos basically because that's all I vlogged. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm like going down through like memory lane.
Like the nostalgia is eating me.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was an amazing, like 3-4 years. We
did a
together.
bunch. We even traveled together. Like
we traveled together. We paddleboarded, hiked. Yeah. We went to bailes together. Like we did the damn thing.
Yeah, I got on a plane for the first time with her. Like that's actually
God,
crazy.
I remember that.
You remember
yeah,
that?
I do.
I did a bunch of stuff with her for like the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know why you brought me around, but thank you.
I feel like we were all close, but definitely like you became my person, you know? Mm-hmm. Like it was just Bella and me, and like and I feel like because we had very similar interests, like gym, eating healthy, partying, like kind of a balance of everything, and we could literally spend 3 hours at the gym together, and it was
like we're like, damn, it's three hours already, shit.
And we still haven't finished. Literally. So yeah, guys, that's basically kind of like our history. We were really, really close for a lot of years and went through so much together, and I feel like I got pregnant and everything kind of went south, you know. Like we just I feel like even before that a little bit, right? I feel like probably that year right before I got pregnant we kind of started drifting apart a little bit. And it was crazy because I feel like we drifted apart, and then one day you were here and then one day you were gone, and I was like and to me, you guys, you know, when I met Bella, I knew she wanted to do more with her life. And I remember I met you and you were at a 9 to 5. Like you didn't really, like it wasn't your passion. Your passion has always been working out and like wanted to be a personal trainer. Right. And I remember being like, this girl's like destined for a lot more than our small town, you know? And I remember you always telling me like, I want to move to California. I want to, basically maybe not even California, but you're like, I want to leave. Like I do not belong here. It's crazy because I feel like when you are from a small town, you fall in love and that changes your life, right? You fall in love, you get married, and basically to your high school sweetheart, because who else, right? Yeah,
you're cuffed and
and you're done. And Bella never, like, she never found the love of her life here. Never. Like, and that, I feel like that was a telltale sign, no?
Yeah, like, even like, I just like talking to people, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like guys, like I couldn't, like I would find an ick instantly. You know, do you remember?
First message, you're like, ew, blocked.
Yeah, I'm like, ick.
And bye. I remember telling Bella like, oh, you don't think he's cute? You don't think? No. And it was fun because you were like that friend, you know, like no boyfriend, not cuffed. We could do whatever, whenever. Free spirited. Like you were down for anything, and it was so fun. And I'm like, thank God that you never got cuffed, because I feel like that would have changed you completely. No,
imagine. Yeah, no, I feel like I would have been a different person.
Completely. Yeah. So I think we'll start off there.
Yeah.
You know, with my little, where the hell you been at, Loca? Wait, and why am I saying it different? Where the hell have you been, Loca? Is that what he says?
Yeah. Where the hell have you been, Loca? He's like running.
With his hair. Wait, it's kind of the same length as mine. Oh my God. And you're, okay, wow, guys, we're literally Taylor Lautner.
Can we talk about something really quick?
What?
Wait a minute. You're like, wait a minute. No, like, can we talk about how like weirdly like we have been like matching almost a little bit, like weirdly?
You guys, yeah.
What did it start with? I can't even remember.
So it started. How did it start?
Moms.
Like I don't remember what I did 2 minutes ago. It started when I went to pick up the strawberries, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But okay. Anyways,
it was a lot of coincidences.
Everything has been clicking like weirdly.
Yeah, like whoa, what? Wait, really? Wait, I just did that, and then I think what really solidified it was Friday morning. I go and get my nails done, or Thursday. Who cares?
First you had the party.
Oh yeah, I had the party.
You had the party, and then the theme was yellow.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, that's where it started. Yeah. So we were weirdly like clicking. Everything was like clicking. And I was like, oh my God, it feels like I'm getting back with my ex. And then I'm like, hey Bella, I go pick up strawberries on Friday. I'm like, hey, we're actually hosting like a small party for Belen for his birthday, and I'd love for you to come, bring baby and your man. So guys, this is a lot. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll go, whatever. Mind you, I don't tell anybody the theme. Nobody knows it's yellow and pink. Nobody knows that we're all wearing yellow. Yeah. Bella shows up in a yellow shirt.
Like exactly a pastel yellow.
Exactly. I'm like, have you been in my house?
Were you stalking us?
Like, are you? Is this?
You know what's weird? That I found that shirt that day.
Guys.
No, weird, because me and my family are moving, right? And we're like taking everything from the storage. So I came back from LA, right? And I'm like getting my old clothes from the storage. I'm like, oh, like I forgot I had this shirt. I forgot I had this.
You're like
I forgot
shopping
I had
again?
this. Yeah, I was like, damn. And I was like, literally, I don't know what to wear. And I look at my old stash. I was like, oh, this shirt, put it on. Like, let's go.
Like, why would you choose that shirt? Crazy. So
Weird.
you show up in a yellow shirt. I'm like, did you know the theme? Who sent you the invitation that I didn't make? So it started there. And then literally a couple of days after that, I posted my nails.
Yeah.
And they're just like my little French yellow nails. And then she messages me. She's like, when did you get those done? And I'm like, literally this morning. And you're like, well, funny enough, because I hadn't posted it yet. I posted it like right at the end of the night. She's like, funny enough, I just got my nails done the same color.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no. And she sends me a picture. I'm like, oh, like the exact same color, like no brighter, literally. No.
Yeah. I was like breastfeeding. I was like looking at like stories and I was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
I told Alexis, I was like, she's going to think I'm like stalking her or something.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I was telling Jonathan, I was like, no, it feels like I'm getting back together with my ex. Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like that. Doesn't it feel weird?
Yes. Everything that has been happening, I'm like,
wait a minute.
That's what happens when you do everything naturally, I feel like.
Yeah. No, you don't force anything.
Force anything. Just go with it, you know, with everything with your life.
Like everything aligns perfectly wherever you have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, that I guess that was a coincidence. It was just a bunch of coincidences. You're like, this was planned. Like there's a higher power, and I know God planned this out. But so then I guess we'll just piggyback off of that because you mentioned you came back from LA. So
I did.
Would you like to tell us where you've been?
Where have I been? Okay, so for the last 3 years, I moved to LA. I want to say 2021.
Yeah, literally
2021. I moved in September. Should I say why I moved? Right?
You can tell me as much and as little as you want.
Or can that be a different story?
No, that's perfect. But I feel like I do want to say we have been catching up, but there's so much to catch up on that everything she's gonna say today is me hearing it for the first time.
Right.
So I'm gonna be surprised with you guys. This is Bella Tells All.
Yeah, for real. Okay, so yeah, I mean I've been in LA for the last 3 years. So I mean, what do you want to know about LA?
I want to know. Wait, I would love to know why you left.
Why I left? Okay, so I feel like I was in a position of my life that I didn't like who I was at all. Mm-hmm. Like I was just looking at myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. I was like, what kind of person did you turn yourself into?
Okay.
You know? Mm-hmm. Is that too deep?
I'm scared. No, that's perfect.
And I don't know. I just realized I like woke up literally one day and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I wasn't really talking to anybody. I didn't really have any friends. You know how it goes sometimes. So I wasn't really talking to anybody. I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to literally nobody. I was just working. And then I was hanging out with a couple friends. But to be honest, they weren't the right influence. Okay. Right? And you know how you hear like you are who you surround yourself with? Mm-hmm. And that just like opened my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm not those people. And I'm never going to be those people. Mm-hmm. So I just decided to like become a person who I wanted to be, you know, who I like envision and like admire almost. I'm not there yet, but that's, I guess, like a journey that I started that day. Yeah. So from there, I got like 3 jobs. Yeah. I worked like literally like so many hours. Like I barely slept just so I can move to LA. Yeah. I did like a 3-month camp to myself.
Why LA?
So I have family out there. And it seemed like the perfect, not easy opportunity, but yeah, I guess easy for me. Yeah. You know, like I have family out there. And funny enough, I had a cousin who lives with us at the time who freed a room over in California. Does that make sense?
Okay. So she came to live with you and left the room in California.
Yeah, he came to live with us. Do you remember? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say his name.
Cut the cameras.
Am I talking good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like a professional girl.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like, I don't know, it'd be different when I look at the camera. But so a cousin came to live to Colorado. He moved here, and I don't know, that kind of inspired me too. I was like, oh, cool. Like you could just move anywhere. You know, that's very awesome. We took him in. You know, of course, he's family. We had an extra room. Therefore, there was an extra room at his house in California. And my family and I, we always went to California during the summer, or anytime we could. just to visit our family, right? Literally every time I was there, I didn't want to leave, like ever. Yeah, like I was like, damn, like I was just sitting at the beach, like looking at the ocean, like, damn, why don't we have this in Colorado?
Literally.
Like I love it here. Like I never want to leave. And I remember the last time I was in California, it was in July. And I told my brother, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to move here. He's like, yeah? I'm like, yeah. And that's like the day I just like from there too, like I was like, I'm going to head out.
Oh my God.
And just move my whole life over here.
So you give yourself 3 months, you said?
Yeah. To save money. Because, you know, LA is freaking expensive. Everything about it is expensive.
Yeah.
Just breathing in California is expensive. Literally.
And it's bad quality air.
Yeah,
so.
literally. Oh my gosh. Speaking of the fires.
Oh my God. Which we'll get to probably. Well, that's crazy because like I said, for me, in my eyes, it's like one day, because we drifted apart, but it was never like bad blood enough for me to be like, oh, I don't want to, like I'm following you and blocking you. Like it was still nice to see like, oh, what is she up to? Or who is she hanging out with?
Same.
And then one day I'm like, oh, she's like not here anymore. Like she's in California. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I'm so happy for her because I knew that's what you wanted to do. I was like, I knew that you wanted to leave. I guess for a little bit, I didn't know that you had moved there. I thought you were just there for a bit,
Really?
you know? But I feel like the months went on, I was like, oh no, she's there. Like
Really?
she's there. Yeah.
How did you like, because I feel like I never really mentioned it. You say it.
I guess it was just like you never coming home, you know? I was like, she's just not going to come home.
She got cuffed and pregnant.
But that was crazy for me because one day, I don't even, like the lines are so blurred for me because my mom brain, one, but two, it's like one day you're in Colorado, the next you're not here, and then the next you have a man, and then the next you're pregnant.
Funny enough that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I moved to California to like still pursue me being single. Right?
Yeah, just like
not don't get it twisted with like being a hoe.
No,
Can I say that?
Yeah, no, you had no, I mean, even here you had no plans or intentions to like settle down.
No. It's more like as like I just wanted to be by myself. I feel like I've always been like that. Right?
Yeah, like you've always explored yourself and known.
And that's what I did in LA. I'm like, I'm gonna go, you know, visit my cousins, work, explore LA, and then move to a different state after that for a year. You know, I just pretty much want to see the world.
You just want to hop around.
Yes, exactly. Little did I know, Mr. Fiance over here.
A fiance is crazy. That's crazy.
Literally, like, should I say how I met him, or that's a different?
Yeah, I would love to know because I think I do know the story because we FaceTimed when you told me you were pregnant, but I'd love a little refreshment.
Yes, so I met him at the gym, at Gold's, actually. Of course, where else am I gonna meet a guy?
That's where you were training or working?
Training.
Okay.
I was training. I like, se llama, let me remember. See if there's any people that go there. North Glen?
Okay.
North Glen Golds.
What like nothing fits you better. Meeting a man at the gym. And that's, I feel like that's the only way you would date someone is if they had the same passions.
And it took
as
a
you.
while. Like for me to even like see him frequently.
Okay. So you move in
was,
September.
Yeah.
And you meet him in?
I met him, what's the next month? October.
I
met him in October.
So not even a year, nothing. Like
no, it was fast. But like he kept insisting and like most
was like pursuing
men,
you?
Yeah, pursuing me. Y yo pues no, like I'd be like, whatever.
Because you've always been like that?
Always. And like, whatever. And I would never answer him. When he would call me, I would answer because I would feel bad. But he's the only guy that would actually call me. Is that weird? Is that like a thing?
I feel like when someone ends up dating someone and like marrying them, that's how it starts. Like we were all talking on the phone, and like I feel like no one likes to talk on the phone. You know,
nobody
so like,
I like nobody. Other men who had pursued me. I don't know if I should say this, but like they would just text me almost like no calls, and this man would call me like straight up, and like the conversations like would flow so good. Like we were on the phone for an hour. I'm like hang up, and I'd be like, damn, what just happened? Why did we like talk for an hour like so smoothly? And like I don't even like.
Okay, so you meet him at Gold's. He comes up to you, or how do you like how is that exchange?
Yeah, like I can sense him, you know, approaching? like looking at me and stuff. And yeah, he asked for my number, y de ahí pues ya no lo vi. No. Okay. Cause I mean that's one of the gyms that I went to. You know, I want to go to other gyms.
Oh, okay.
You know, I want to go to Hollywood. I want to go different gyms.
You're just exploring.
Yeah, because like, you know, you're on social media and then you see like this gym or that gym. Yeah. And, so I didn't really see him. And then He calls me again, like, hey, why aren't you like talking to me? Like, come on, like, let's give me a chance to like at least take you out. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'll take a free meal.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there, it
Oh my God.
kicked off. Like, when I tell you this man is like me, he's like me.
Okay. That's the one thing, because you guys, I've known Bella for a long time, right? And regardless of you changing as a person, like being in California, I just knew who you are and your standards, right? And I guess like a little backstory, Bella, she has many brothers. So you kind of grew up very independent.
Yes.
You know how to do anything and everything. Like you do not you don't depend on anyone for anything.
Right.
So that's why your standards were like to the roof, because you're like, I've done this my whole life by myself. Like no one can just come and swoop in, right?
You're right.
So when I found out you had a boyfriend, I was like, who is this man and what did he do to Bella?
I remember you said that.
Because you guys, let me just set the scenario up. I meet Bella. I wouldn't say you're girly. Like you were very adventurous. You obviously never had your nails done because you were always doing something.
True.
Hiking, working, whatever it is, like out in the nature. You never wore makeup because I mean you're already naturally pretty.
Thank you.
But you never cared to spend time or like waste time doing anything. You're like, let's go. You know?
Like I honestly didn't care how I looked.
No, like you were just like
so
the way I saw you is like a free spirit, just living life, you know? Yeah. So I see Bella with the boyfriend, Bella with her nails done, Bella with makeup. I'm like, hold the fudge up. Like, who is this man and what did he do to you?
Yeah. Como se dice? Like, he brought the feminine out of me. Like naturally. Weirdly enough, like I do remember everything that you're saying. Like, and I forgot. Like I used to not get my nails done. And yeah, he brought everything out of me. I'm like, damn, like, and I think both of us, like he wanted to become a better person and I wanted to become a better person. Does that make sense? And
who even knew? Like who would have thought that your person was in California?
Nobody. Know? And funny enough, he's not from California.
Jesus Christ. Like this is when you like question it. You're like, how can there not be a God? You know? Like how can people not believe in higher power and like knowing that your life already has a plan?
Literally. Oh yeah.
So you meet him, he pursues you, you kind of say no, kind of say yes, you take him up on a date, you click.
We click, I ghost him.
You're scared.
I'm scared.
Oh. This is so you. Like I'm like you are just a better version of you, but that is funny. You just ghosted him.
Yeah, I ghosted him. I did.
And then?
I ghosted him for a whole month.
But like you ghosted, like he would still talk to you and you just wouldn't answer.
Yeah, I wouldn't answer.
Was it because you were scared?
It was because like yo en mi mente, like I went into California with a plan.
Okay, and he was not part of the plan.
He was not part of the agenda. No.
Okay, so you were like, no, like you can't fuck up my...
like, you know, I'm like, I have a like strong ¿cómo se dice? Mentality, like, no, like I'm going to keep the plan. I'm going to go move to a different state. Like I can't get cuffed.
You can't have anyone hold you back.
No, not right now.
So you ghost him for a month.
Yeah, so then I keep working, doing my thing. I was working at a gym, 24-hour fitness, you know.
You never saw him again? Like you never went back to that Golds?
Not to that Golds. Well, yeah, I would go, but not him.
Okay.
He like, I don't know what he was doing, honestly. So I don't know if I want to say exactly, but he was training in Hollywood most of the time. Okay. So we were kind of on opposite sides anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it took him a month. So he would text me and then he called me again, like out of nowhere. I was doing laundry. I remember this day, like if it was yesterday. We were just talking about this last time. I was doing laundry. He calls me. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, como si nada. And I was like, you know, nothing, doing laundry. He's like, you want to go catch a movie? And I was just like, change the tema, you know. We keep talked for a whole hour.
Okay.
And then he asked me again, do I want to go to the movies? I'm like, damn, why does this guy keep pursuing me? Like, what is...
Like, does he not get it?
Yeah. And I went to the movies and we fell in love.
You're like, that day. What movie did you watch?
That day...
ni se acuerda qué estabas haciendo.
I know. Was I even watching the movie?
Literally, were you?
No, I was. Hold up. Let me remember. No, we went to the movies every Tuesday from there.
Oh my God.
From there, we went.
Routine?
Yeah, every Tuesday. We did not miss one Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you know Tuesdays are $5.
Yeah.
For people who don't know. Save your money.
Go on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you took him up on that date and you felt like... What happened at the date that you're like, oh, like I'm gonna keep talking to you?
Wait, can I say why I ghosted him?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's messed up. That's messed up. No. Because they're going to be like, why'd you ghost him? I feel like at the beginning, I thought that me and like our personalities didn't match.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay.
he had other intentions and I had other intentions.
Okay.
You know, that's why I was like, nah, he's not for me.
Okay.
You know, because we did click really good at the beginning. And then I was like, wait a minute, like something's not right.
Okay.
You know, and then after that he kept pursuing me. And I kind of realized like you can't change a person, but like if a person really loves you, I feel like they better themselves.
Yeah.
For
they
you.
adjust.
Yeah, they adjust.
Anything that you.
And vice versa. You know,
Okay.
so I was like, why am I judging him right now?
Okay.
I feel like I did that in my past and I always do that. Like I nitpick. I'm like, oh, he has this, he has that, he has this. I have a problem, but
So at that date, what was it about? What happened there that you're like, okay, like he deserves a chance?
To keep going, okay, I think it's very hard to make me laugh.
Okay.
And I think that's what did it for me. Yeah.
He made you laugh.
He makes me laugh like
Wow.
weirdly. Like I try not to laugh like on purpose, but
You're like, you're not funny.
you're not funny. I'm all laughing. No, yeah,
Wow.
he's really funny. Like he would make me laugh, and he talks. I don't know if I should say this, but he would talks about his feelings, and a lot of men don't do
So
that.
he's emotionally available.
Very,
Oh wow.
very. That's something
See,
that I
and
needed.
now I'm like, you're telling, like now I'm getting the info I want. Like now I'm like, okay, this is why.
Yeah, and once you meet him, you'll see why. Because there's a lot you don't know about him.
Yeah, I've only interacted with him like 3 times.
Yeah.
So
once you meet him, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so you go on the date, you kind of fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
This is October still? No, this is November now because you ghosted him for a month.
Yeah. Probably January. No, December.
Okay.
Yeah. I started talking to him in December because he had a fight. Gosh, we ate Chick-fil-A.
You can burp. We'll just
No,
take it out.
Se llaman
Agruras?
Ándale, eso.
Got some acid reflux up in there.
So I'm like, damn.
It's okay.
What was your question again?
I said, I don't know.
Moms.
Oh, I said, so this happened in December.
Yes, December.
So then you start dating. Like, does he ask you like officially, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Okay, this is the thing about men sometimes. They think that like they don't have to ask you.
They just think, oh, like she knows.
She knows, like we're dating. And like I told him straight up, like, you haven't asked me out. So.
Yeah, so basically we're not exclusive.
No, not at all.
Okay.
So it took him a while. When would I say? It's because like the actual date, it took him forever to ask me out because
Okay.
according to him, we've been dating since the day we met.
Like that is our anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he asked me out not until July.
Okay.
Cuatro de
Oh,
julio.
okay. Every man is the same.
Yeah.
I promise you. Like that's
Yeah.
what happened. That's all I hear.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, but I mean, we were like, it's funny. I don't know if you guys have ever read like a meme. It says like, I met my man and I never like, ¿cómo se dice? I met my man. No, my man stayed over one time and he never left.
Okay.
That's what happened.
So basically, like after that night, you're like, your whole life was him.
I saw him every day up from that night. We
He
went to the
just-
movies. We trained together. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Because of his job, he can't see me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be somewhere by himself, like training and stuff. So there was times where I couldn't see him, and that was difficult. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, why is that difficult for me?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like you felt. That's when you felt like, oh, I
Yeah.
actually like him.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a day thing that I was like, oh, like, yeah, I love him. No, it was like, cada día, it would grow more and more and more and more. And to be honest, till this day, it would grow more and more and more. Yeah. Yeah, because same with him too. Like, he like, damn, like, I've never like missed somebody this much during like his work situation. Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
You know?
big trouble.
Yeah, like now I understand girls and why they
Like
cry
now
all
you
the
understand
time.
love,
Exactly.
which you had never been in.
Never. No. Yeah.
That's crazy. So he asked you out in July. I mean, after that, what was it? Like you just got together and
Yeah, I mean, we moved in together.
oh
We
my
moved in
God.
together. When was
But tea.
it? Damn, is this TMI?
No, this is perfect. But I'm saying T for me because, like, just picture yourself. Like, for you, you already knew I was with Jonathan. You already knew I was a mom, and I mean, you visited me at the house we were at, like you knew my life.
Yeah.
So when you left, it was just my life was growing with the same people that you knew. Right. And for me, it was like, Bella is in California, she's dating someone, she's in love, like what, how, why, who, you know? And
I don't know.
This is like, it's not TMI, but it's just like information that I never, like, I wasn't gonna message him like, hey,
yeah, what's going on?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And who is this guy?
Yeah. What's his name?
Like, I couldn't stalk him on Instagram because I didn't know who he was. Like, I didn't know anything. And I think that was kind of what ate me alive for a little bit, because I'm like, knowing the person you are, who is he?
Yeah.
That changed you.
Right.
Like I feel like he broke you open. Like this is like, I feel like, Bella, you were my best friend, but there was so much that probably to this day I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Because it feels like the walls aren't even 6 feet high. Like they are, you can't see the top. No. Basically is what I'm trying to say. You can't put no ladder. Like nobody can crack your walls open.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like he broke through to her and he found you. Like he found who you are meant to be, you know?
Yeah.
And that was crazy to me. Yeah. So now that you're telling me this, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching a rom-com.
Yeah. Literally, like I'd never pictured myself like in a relationship.
No.
And especially with a baby. Never. Right?
No. Absolutely not.
No, yeah. It's like everything happened for a reason for my life. I think once you like put yourself like to become a person that you want to become, like it naturally happens.
Yeah.
You know, I never like put on my vision board, like become a mom,
fall in love, get married, have a baby.
You
were never that. You were literally like, I feel like you knew what you wanted to feel, which was happy. And you were just exploring ways to get there.
Yes.
And you never knew what was going to make you that. Yes. And crazy enough, like this is what it was.
Literally. You said it perfectly.
Wow. Should I become a motivational speaker? Okay, so fast forward to July. He asks you to be his girlfriend officially, even though you've been dating since the day you met.
Yeah,
So then what happens after that?
When did we move in? We moved in November together.
Okay. So kind of a year after you met him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved in with him because we were just like, what are we doing? Like, you live at your uncle's. I was living at my uncle's at the time, and he was living at his work.
Okay.
Weird situation.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, he was living kind of like he had a couple of roommates and stuff.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, what are we doing? Like, it was kind of like
were you guys in the phase where you were staying over together and like
yeah,
like you just never wanted to be apart, basically?
Yeah.
So that's why it felt right to move in.
Yeah. And like at the beginning, I would stay at his place because I think it would be weird to bring him over to my uncle's. Like no, that's not happening.
Okay.
But then, you know, guys and how they live, like I can't just stand that. It's kind of nasty. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go to my uncle's, and he would just come over a lot. He met my family and everything there. Funny enough, my family didn't know I was dating him, and I told my family in California. I was like, don't mention this to my family in Colorado, by the way.
You're like, actually, I'm Hannah Montana and I have 2 separate lives. So don't tell them.
Just keep it on the DL. Like, you know, my brothers are gonna freak out. Like she mentioned, I have 3 older brothers. I have never ever in my life brought up man to the house, ever.
You've never brought a man around?
Never.
Period.
So
I feel like that was for them, like, holy shiz.
Yeah, they were like,
also, who is this man and what did he do to my sister?
Yeah, like what happened? So okay, we started moving. We moved in together, and yeah, I mean, it was in November, literally like November 1st, because I remember like I was like paying rent and stuff, so I was like November 1st. We moved to Norwalk. If anybody's from Norwalk, comment down below.
I feel like shout out to you.
Shout out.
You probably saw me roaming the streets.
Yeah, probably pregnant.
Walking, curb walks.
Yep, going to Target almost every day.
Literally.
But yeah, we moved in November.
And then you move in November. When do you find out you're pregnant?
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
What?
I found out, when did I find out? February? The end of February.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because I missed my period and I was like,
okay, can you talk about that? Because obviously, like, you weren't trying, right?
No.
It was a surprise?
No, it was a very, very surprise. Just because, like, I was taking really good care of myself. So I was not planning the pregnancy.
So you were preventing very well.
I was preventing it very, very well.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, out of nowhere, I started getting very emotional. Like anything he would do, like I would just get very, very emotional and more mad and like sensitive. I'm like, what is going on with me? It's like if I was on my period the whole month.
But you didn't have a period.
And no, I didn't. So
were there any other like symptoms?
What other symptoms? Oh my gosh, yes. So me and my man, we would run almost every Monday and Saturday. Okay. That was our thing. Like we would go on runs. That was his like long jogs. And I got into that routine where I was like, I'm really good at running right now. Like I would run a whole hour.
Okay.
Like breeze. Like I got to that point where I was running really good. And I got really skinny. Like it was a nice routine that we had.
I'm like, okay, start running for an hour twice a week.
Twice a week. Yeah. And one day we were at Long Beach, I remember. And I was right behind him. Boom. I get like a big sharp like cramp. Like sharp. Like this is not normal type of cramp. I was like, wait a minute, like me torcí completamente, like I went down. And he's still running, like, you know, he's still doing his thing because he knows me. I'm right behind him. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm even telling him like, no, like keep going, you know, like don't mess up your Apple Watch jog. Yeah, like keep going. And he's like, no, like what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know, like I can't stand up. Every step I would take, I couldn't.
Oh my God.
Like, I can't. And he just looked at me like, okay. Like, is everything okay? I'm like, I think I'm getting my period. Like,
okay.
Like, I'm good. I was just telling him, like, he didn't know. But in my head, I'm like, this is not normal. I've never had this feeling. And I sit down. There's like a little like bench. And I try to stand up. Nope. Couldn't. It took me a while to stand up. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it took a week for me to be like, okay, I'm going to try to take a pregnancy test. And he was at work and I was at home. I went to Target, of course. Shout out Target.
Literally, that's where we all get our pregnancy tests.
Yeah, because also I lived there like 5 minutes away. Not even like 2 minutes away from Target. Amazing. The best experience. I went to Target. I bought one pregnancy test. I went home and I remember like if it was yesterday, dude. I peed on it and I left it by the window and I was like, all right, whatever. Like this is not my life right now.
Yeah. You're like, nah, it's going to be negative.
Yeah. I look at it, dude, my whole heart dropped to my ass. Like it dropped. Like I was like, I was sweating. I was pale. I was like, what am I going to do? Like what am I going to do?
That was the first thing you thought. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, because I have nobody, first of all. Like my family was there in California, but I didn't talk to them like that.
Like you weren't close?
No, we were not close like that. Some of them I was, but not most of them. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what is my family going to think? What am I... Yeah.
Like it felt like you were 16 and pregnant and you were going to tell your parents, like, I'm fucking...
Yes, my whole world was like spinning. I was like... I was in shock more than anything. Just because like I didn't have anybody to like tell or like in that moment, I was like... I felt like throwing up. Just thinking of like... Thinking that I was pregnant. Because I don't know if it was like... I know this is horrible, but I was like... If it was bad or good. Yeah. At that moment.
Right.
You know, I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? Literally. Right. You know, because it's a whole like responsibility. Obviously, I'm going to keep him. Yeah. Obviously. Like I didn't mean it that way.
You were never like, no, I can't be like whatever. Like never. You're just like, holy shit, what am I going to do?
Yes. I was just scared. Really, really scared.
What was your thought process like thinking about telling him?
That's what I wanted to get to. I was also very...
like, move along. I'm like, I need all the tea.
I need all the tea. Sorry. No, I was mostly scared too because I didn't know what he wanted either.
So you guys had never talked about kids or like you never talked about further plans. You were kind of just living in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And especially because we met in a short period of time.
Right. So it was like meet, fall in love, I'm pregnant, fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. So that's why I was like, okay, what is he going to think? Like, is he down? Is he not down? Is he that person that I think he is? And he's going to be like, yes, like, let's do it. Uh-huh. Or is he going to be like,
peace out,
I can't do this, you know? Because I mean, like you meet a guy in LA, like you don't, sometimes you think you know a person, sometimes you don't. Right. You never know, you know? So it took me 2 days to tell him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like eating you up alive? Or did you feel like you were acting normal or were you like, I don't know if I'm even here
I don't even remember. I feel like I like
blacked out.
Yeah, I blacked out completely.
Wow.
I went back to the store and I bought 4 more pregnancy tests.
I think literally we all do this. That's crazy.
Yeah, I bought more And I finally like caved and I was like, all right, I need to tell him, you know? And I remember he was in bed and I got out the shower and I was like, I need to tell you something. And keep in mind, I'm still thinking in my head, like, oh shoot, like what is he gonna think? Like, is he gonna want to do this or he's not gonna want to do this, right? And I'm like telling him and I'm kind of bawling my eyes out. I'm like,
you started crying.
He's like, yeah, I started crying. He was like, what's going on? Like, are you breaking up with me? Like, what's going on? And I'm telling this man, you know, I'm on the edge of the bed and I'm like, and I show him the pregnancy test. He grabs it and he's just looking at it like this. This man puts it down, grabs his phone, is just like this. And I'm like, this man doesn't give a shit.
You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like who do you think you are? And I'm like, you know, I'm like getting mad now. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, I just told you that I'm pregnant.
Like the biggest news that you could ever tell him right there.
Yeah, I guess the whole time he's telling his whole family that I'm pregnant.
Group chat, hey, by the way, I'm gonna be a dad.
I'm not even joking. He tells his brother, he tells his mom, his other brother. Like,
so that was like his first reaction.
That was like his first reaction. And then he's like, he was just happy. He was like, oh my gosh. Like, he was like, I'm gonna be a dad. Like we're gonna do this. Like, he was very,
and
very,
how did that make you feel?
very happy.
Like if you feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah,
kinda?
I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
okay.
yeah, like let's do this type.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I know it was a weird reaction. I was just like,
yeah, because he didn't give you the reaction right away. Like he's like, wait, hold that thought. Let me
literally, I was like, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. No, he was just like, because he's not a very, he won't show you his feelings.
Okay.
You know, right away. He's really good at like talking though.
Okay, so he's like, because you know how most men, I would say, are very, how do you even say that? Like explosive with their thoughts or with their feelings. Like you right away know if they're mad, sad, happy, but they don't talk about it, but you can tell in their vibe. Yeah. Like he's very much like, I'm gonna let it sit and then tell you how I feel.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow.
Very much.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God. And you're like, holy shiz, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant. And I'm like, while I'm telling him, I was like, let's not tell anybody because like, we're not sure.
You don't know. Yeah.
We don't know yet. We have to wait until 2 months.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, nah. Everything's going to go good. Everything's going to go good. Trust me.
Like, no, we're parents. Everyone knows it.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, Layla, you can tell your family, but I'm not going to tell my family.
God. Okay. Because I feel like that is way different because you're a girl and it's hard and you have brothers and your dad and like they don't know you're dating anyone at this point or they knew you were dating
him? They knew because some of them, they have me on social media. So they kind of
knew. So they kind of knew. Mm-hmm. Wow. So you get pregnant, you find out February.
Oh, they had met him before I got pregnant.
They had?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had met him.
Oh, yeah, because you came to town, didn't you?
It was like a family emergency and he flew in.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, he flew in with me. Or no, I flew in and then he flew in.
Oh.
Yeah. So he met my family during that time. And yeah, they loved him. Everybody clicked with him.
And then that's so good. Okay, so that's great. Like it was a perfect sequence of events.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So and he proposed before that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, tell me that. Did you post about it or no?
I did, but I deleted it. Yeah.
Long story. Actually, I don't want nobody to know.
Yeah. No, I did. No, I did. I think I do still have it up.
Do you?
He proposes in December.
So you come to Colorado in like November, right?
November, yeah.
And then he proposes in December. You get
No, he proposes in November. I think it was November.
Was it in California?
No, it was here.
Oh, here.
For my family.
So he came with a plan.
Yeah, my dad had flown out before that, like a month prior, and le pidió la mano a mi dad. Yeah,
but you didn't know.
He acts very nervous with my dad. Yeah,
okay,
I had a feeling.
Okay,
yeah, but I didn't know about.
No, but did you know that he asked your dad for permission?
He told me after.
Okay,
yeah, he's like, I just talked to your dad. I was like, what were you doing? He's like, oh, actually, just see if you are good to be together. He kind of like told him like, hey, like, can she live with me too?
Okay,
you know, like if like, you know, Mexican parents.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of like, I don't know what else. They obviously talked about the engagement too.
Yeah, but he didn't tell you that.
No, he told me like, I asked like if it's okay if I live with him, that like we're gonna take things serious and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh! And then so he already knew that he was gonna do that. In Colorado.
In Colorado, yeah.
So he meets you here, and how does he propose?
This is what kind of gave it away, if I'm being honest with everybody. He was hiding his phone a lot. He never does that. He was kind of like, I would get close to him. He'd be like, hey, give me your phone.
Actually, open it and let me go through it. So he was very nervous
Very
with you. Like, you
nervous.
right away noticed a change.
Very.
So when he did that, like, your first thought wasn't like he's cheating. You were like,
No,
he's
yeah.
hiding something.
No, I thought he was cheating.
Oh, okay,
like he
okay.
was hiding something. I was like, what is this man doing?
But your
Like,
first thought was like he's hiding something. It's probably cheating.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And did you ever bring it up to him?
Yeah, I was like, why are you acting so weird?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, he was just trying to act cool. Like, I'm not. Like, he just kept like brushing it off his shoulder. I was like, all right, well, I'm here with my family. I'm gonna enjoy my family. And then
Okay. You're like, we'll kind of deal with this later.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it was New Year's. New
Girl, that ain't not
I'm
on
so
November.
No, I mean, it was a New Year's. Yeah. Yeah, it was a New Year's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you flew in September for emergency, blah, blah, blah. You guys came home for New Year's?
For New Year's, yeah.
Okay. And that's where he proposed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, right then and there, like right before it happened, where you're like, oh, he's proposing.
Yeah, like once like they had my family had like the music and everybody stopped the music. It's like, we have a big announcement. And I was like,
You're like, who's pregnant?
yeah. I was like, oh, okay, what's the announcement? And I was holding the baby and they took the baby away from me, my little nephew. And yeah, and here he comes all with the little box, he's all shaking.
And did he
With
like
the microphone.
give you a speech? Or?
Yeah, he was very nervous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As everybody would be.
Yeah, he gave a little speech like, you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, stuff like that. I have a video, I'll show you.
Oh my God, please send that over to me.
Yeah, I have a video. And yeah, he asked me, I think what I valued so much was the fact that he asked me in front of my family.
Yeah.
And it was very private,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, I think I really like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's like who you are the closest to, who you love the most.
Exactly.
He proposes, you're a fiance.
I'm a fiance, and then I get pregnant.
And then you get pregnant like 2 months after that. Well,
Yeah.
actually, probably the next month, but you don't find out till February.
Yes,
You
exactly.
probably got pregnant that night.
I got pregnant my birthday.
No?
No?
Your birthday?
Yeah, late February.
No, your birthday's in March.
Yeah. But don't you get like, don't you conceive? Doesn't it hit like 2 weeks or a month prior? Or that's not true.
Wait, I'm confused. You find out you're pregnant in February, so you had to get pregnant in like January.
January? You think so?
Yeah, so
When does it hit?
So basically you get pregnant after you miss your period. That's when you find out, right?
Yeah.
So when you miss your period, you're usually already like 4 weeks along. So like a month.
Wow. Wow.
So you probably got pregnant in January. So that's how I'm like, you probably got pregnant that night.
That night.
You're like, ooh,
Probably.
engaged, pregnant. Wow. Okay, so then that's when I come in. Because I'm postpartum with Belen. And I don't even know. I think maybe we were talking a little bit because you were like, oh, congratulations on the baby, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bella, like all of a sudden, she's like, oh, we should FaceTime sometime. And literally, I can't even lie to you guys. Right there, I was like, she's pregnant. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing else that she can tell me but she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Because we don't FaceTime, we don't call on the phone, like text, yeah, easy. But it's like, what is it that she can't just shoot me a text, you know?
Right.
But then I was like, maybe she just wants to catch up, you know,
Yeah, it's been a
whatever.
while.
But I remember like it was literally like I had a date. Like I'm going on a date at 10 p.m. because I was like, oh, call me like after the kids go to sleep so I can have like my undivided attention. So I'm literally nervous. I'm talking to her and I'm like, what can it be? Like, she's pregnant. She wants to catch up. Like, I'm excited because it's like the first time I'm talking to you in a long time. So it's like not only whatever it is you're going to tell me, but like I get to find out like what's going on. Like, you know, because I haven't known you in a long time.
Literally.
So yeah, we FaceTime and it was like we started FaceTiming and right away she wasn't like, I'm pregnant. It was like, oh, how are you? Like, you were in Vegas at the time.
I was.
You're like, I'm in Vegas. You were like washing the dishes. I noticed you have a ring. I noticed you have your red nails. I'm like, who am I talking to? Like, I'm talking to Bella, but like a feminine version of you, which is crazy because I never got that. Like, even genuinely, like even when we were at bailes and stuff, like you were like there to have fun. Like you were never there to like, oh, you want to get pretty and go to a baile. You were there like, I just want to get lit.
I'm so
you know?
hurt. I'm so happy you said that because my man does not believe me.
What?
Like my past.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, oh no, for sure you had guys all over.
Oh
you.
no!
Or like
we had to beg you to dance with somebody. And you're like, I ain't dancing with nobody. You're like, I'm here to just
I
have
hope you
fun.
watch this podcast.
I'm gonna send this podcast to him. Send me his number. But yeah, so we're like talking, and I'm like, what is she like? I feel like it was all building up. I'm like, she's gonna tell me something, but I already knew because people say like you have a pregnancy glow, you whatever, but for me it was like it wasn't even you had a pregnancy glow. It's like you were just a different person. So I'm like, whether she's pregnant or not, I can't tell right away because I don't know this version of you, you know.
Right.
So it was really fun because I'm like, whatever it is, it's amazing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Cali for a mission, like to be literally a version that I wanted to be.
Yeah, like to
know?
become who you wanted to be.
Yeah,
and
still pursuing that. But anyways, yeah.
You tell me. You're pregnant?
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
how was
no,
your conversation?
not.
How did you feel that?
It was fun because like I said, like we didn't have bad blood. Like I've always loved you and I'm like, you've always been so important to me. So
Same.
To me, it was like, I'm just catching up with you. Like I haven't seen you in years, but it wasn't like, oh, you know, like I don't want to talk to you. It was like, no, I want to know like what's going on.
Like it's
Who
exciting.
Are you with? Yeah. And it's always been like that to me. It's like, because our relation, like I feel like our friendship was so deep. It felt like it was like,
because it was very genuine, I think.
Yeah, it was easy. Like we were together so much. We went through so much together. So it's like just getting to know who you are now was amazing. And it was like, what? Like I want to know everything. So when you tell me you're pregnant, I'm like, okay, like now you have to tell me, who is this man? What did he do to you? How did you fall in love? Like obviously it was like probably a 2-hour long FaceTime that we couldn't even talk about everything. Right. You know? Yeah. But yeah, I feel like you told me, you were like, oh yeah, I've just been feeling like I've been going through something, like I've been feeling sick or something. And I'm like, just say it. You're like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I was like, no, you're not. Yes, I am.
You're like, no way.
Yeah, literally.
You were like in shock.
I was so in shock. I'm like, I wish I could have recorded my reaction because that was so funny.
I think I did, but the audio did it.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, you screen recorded. But yeah, like basically that's where we come in again, because I feel like after I had Franco and Belen, like you would check in, you know, like we would swipe up here and there. But I feel like then was like, I truly feel like when you become a mom or even when you get pregnant, it's such a unique experience that only moms understand you. Yes. And for me, it was sad that you weren't there. You know, like I was like, it's sad that she's so far away. Like I can't even like come visit her or nothing. Like I couldn't go through pregnancy with you. Right. So although it was like really nice for me to know, I feel like maybe it wasn't in your plans, but I never thought that you would come back and I would get to experience life with you again, you know? So I was like, I'm so happy for you, but kind of mourning that, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to be a part of it as much as I would want to. Right. And it was just so fun to like know that. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like, we can relate to this. Yeah. And which is something you are the last person I thought I would ever be able to relate to mom things.
Everybody says that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So it's like, it was a really fun surprise for me too.
For me too.
I'm like, yeah, she's pregnant. So you get pregnant. How would you say your pregnancy was?
My pregnancy, I think it was a roller coaster when emotionally. Okay. I didn't get sick. I was maybe sick a little bit, like barely.
Okay. So it was kind of like your hormones that were acting up a lot?
I was very sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn it.
But which is really hard for you to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was very, very sensitive to everything. But I think that taught me to like, hey, like it's okay.
Like you can be.
You can be sensitive, honey. Yeah. Like, come on. Stop being tough.
Yeah, you know? Just let it go.
Let it go. And yeah, it was good. I worked out my whole pregnancy, up until like my delivery day. Wow. Yeah, I worked out like completely. Not hard. At the beginning, I stopped running. I think I told you like my 2 months, because like once it's awkward. I don't know who, like the women who run until like they're like 6 months. I can't. You know, I feel like it hurts the baby.
Right. Or like it's just bouncing up and down.
Yeah. Or I don't know. It's just like, even like your stomach is stretching.
Yeah.
You know, and like the last thing you want is stretch marks.
Right.
You know? But I did everything to prevent that.
Wow.
But yeah, it was good. I feel like pasó bien rápido. Like my baby's 4 months now. And he's still a baby, but it's been going by so fast, and he's been growing every single day, and I'm just in love with him.
So your pregnancy was pretty easy going. It was just kind of the mental load that was a lot. Okay.
Because the roller coaster, the emotions of roller coaster, and because I didn't really have my girls there. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I just literally just had my man. You
had no one to relate to ask questions, unless it was your man and your doctor maybe.
Yeah, nobody, literally nobody. Oh my God. That's when I was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm already thinking in my head, like, I need to go home. You know?
Really? Like, do you think that was the first time you ever thought about coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just because I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do once the baby is here? You know, like,
yeah, who do I talk to? Who do I?
Yeah, like I'm gonna need help. I feel like,
yeah,
you know. So, but I made it a promise to myself that I would never push that onto my husband.
okay.
I like told him like I'm never gonna shove that on you, just because like the more you pressure somebody to do something, I think they don't do it, especially your man. Right. I feel like, you know, it's like you nag them and nag them and nag them, they're not gonna do it.
The less they want to do it.
Yeah. So I think he did it. He's like, all right, let's go to California once I had the baby.
To Colorado.
Oh yeah, once I went to Colorado. Sorry guys, I'm a mom now. So.
You're like mom brain. Okay, so easygoing pregnancy, emotional. You're alone. You have no one to relate to. Nobody to ask questions.
Yeah,
nobody.
like maybe over the phone, like random little questions.
It's not the same.
Not the same. No. And I was just thinking the whole time when I was pregnant, I'm like, damn, like I should have been there for this person, this person, this person, if I would have known how hard it is. Because being pregnant is so hard.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing ever for a woman. Like my respects to every woman that gets pregnant and is a mom.
1,000%. And that's something that I feel like I relate to too. I remember when I was postpartum with Franco, I was like yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions, but for me it was like I could have been a better friend to all of my friends that had babies, you know. And I remember like I apologized to a few. I was like, I'm so sorry I wasn't there. And it's like we all know, like you didn't know, like you don't know. You think you know because you're a woman, but you don't know.
No, you don't know. So like if you are a person and you have somebody that's pregnant, ask them like questions.
Just be there for them. I feel like anything that they intentionally need. Yeah, because you don't know how to, but it's like just try. You know.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Would you like to please tell us your birth story? Because I am actually dying to know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Where do I start? Where exactly do you...
Okay, so how far along were you?
I was 37 weeks.
37. Okay, 37 weeks. You wake up. What happens?
I wake up. I had asked my sister and my sister-in-law, God bless them. I'm very grateful with both of them. And my niece flew in. To like be there, like if my sister to be there for the delivery room. Yeah. If she wanted to, I was like, hey, if you want to, like come in for the delivery room. I can have one person and the person who helped me have a baby, you know, and my husband.
The person who put the baby in me?
Yeah. I would have had my sister-in-law in there, but no se pudo. And so they had flown in a week prior. So they were there like to stay for a whole month or so, just to see like, we never know when I'm going to have the baby, right? And I remember it's the 4th day that they're there. So they had booked for like, they flew in kind of like separately.
Okay.
So my sister flew in a week and then my sister-in-law 4 days before. And the 4th day, we were going to go to the Caijones. If you guys know of that place, it's the amazing place. To show them around, you know, walk around. And I remember I was eating a hot dog and then...
At the Caijones?
At the Caijones.
Okay.
And we're just on our way. We have to go to Hollywood to this gym for my husband. He had to do something. And boom! Right in my stomach, like contraction.
No way.
Right
like
away.
It was like a sharp pain.
Like I'm talking about like I felt like I was getting stabbed, like twisted.
Oh shit. Damn, they just get from 0 to 100.
0 to 100. I didn't even get my... What are those cramps called?
Braxton Hicks.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was just like, no. Oh my God.
And I remember because I think a day before that, my nurse asked me, hey, have you been getting, or my doctor, have you been getting Braxton's? Does he say these?
Braxton Hicks.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, like cramps. I'm like, no.
Just chilling.
I'm good. He's like, okay, well, you're 37, you're past the 36 weeks, so you can happen any moment, just so you know. I'm like, yeah. Like, no, I'm good. I feel good. Probably going to go for the 40 weeks.
Like,
And... yeah, we were on the way and I was sitting and then me da un dolor. I'm like, damn, like something is hurting like really bad. Like this is not normal. Gosh. And like they're like behind me. And you know, I said that I was very emotional person. I'm very emotional at this point. I'm like, damn, like why is it hurting? Because I'm like sweating too for no reason. Like out of nowhere, I just start sweating. And they kind of noticed me being like uncomfortable. I'm like moving and I'm like kind of like moaning a little bit. I'm like, oh, like every like 10 minutes. Yeah. And my sister are like, oh my God, I think it's happening. And I'm like, no, like it's not happening. Like in my head, I'm like in denial. I'm like, no.
Like, these are Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, like fine. And I'm like, okay, like maybe just stop the car and let me walk a little bit. And I walk. He parks in a random street. Keep in mind, my hospital is like 45 minutes away.
Oh, Jesus.
Because LA.
Yes.
I hate LA for that reason. But I'm like walking around, se me quitan. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Get back in the car, another one. Like strong. And I'm like, damn, like this is not normal. So I feel like the baby didn't want me to be seated or anything.
Okay.
Every time I would be sitting down, like, no, más y más. And either way, we were driving and they were like, should we go to the hospital? I'm like, no, like I think I can take it a little longer. You know, me pegaban más y más y más. Y a fuerzas teníamos que, we had to be in a car.
Yeah.
Because we were 45 minutes away from the hospital and 45 minutes away from my house.
Oh my God.
So either way, I had to be in the car.
For 45 minutes.
Jesus. Yeah, so it's either to my house and I never know what's going to happen, or to the hospital and be sure something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Either I get sent home or I'm going to have the baby. You never know. So I was like, they were asking me like, do you want to go to the hospital? Do you want to go home? What do you want to do? And my sister, like, if you know her, you know her. It's like, let's go to the hospital. We went to the hospital and I'm there. They take me in. Took forever. And I'm still like going through contractions, like heavy contractions. Like my body's like twirling like this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you can see my stomach getting hard. I was like,
yeah.
Damn, like it's crazy how your stomach gets hard.
Too much for me.
Yeah, like this is all brand new.
Yeah.
Your girl was only 1 centimeter dilated.
Jesus. And your contractions were 10 minutes apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that because my sister-in-law was like timing it the whole time. She's like, boom, boom, right behind me. And my niece is like filming me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's filming me and yeah, I get home. That was a Wednesday. So ya la noche, pues, I had the whole night. I went home. I felt way better because I was standing now.
Okay.
And I was good. And sí, pues te dan un chart de tus contractions y todo. And I just took it home. And they're like, okay, it could take a month, they said. Or it can take tomorrow. Like, you can have the baby whenever. And I was like, all right. I went home. And I felt a lot better, again, because I was walking. I was not sitting down. Kind of like not doing squats, but estaba en la pelota.
Okay.
It just makes you feel better.
Yes.
I was like relaxed. But I was still going through the contractions en la noche. So I would wake up every, honestly, I feel like I didn't even sleep. Ya ni me acuerdo. But I feel like I didn't sleep because the contraction was very light while I was laying down. Mm-hmm. Very, very light. But they would wake me up. Kind of felt like I was on fire. I feel like those were what are they called again?
Braxton Hicks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were very, very light.
Okay.
So I don't know like what happened to me prior to that. But I remember we're like, okay, we need to go walk around para que, you know.
Kickstart it.
And I'm of course, we go to Target. You know, my sister-in-law and my sister were like, let's go to Target. Let's get you like some stuff for the hospital, anything that you're missing or whatever. And I'm there like, and they're like all so comfortable and like shopping. And I'm like, like just walking around like every 10 steps. I'm like, fuck, like everything hurts, everything. And they're like, come on, like just keep walking. Like, let's get you dilated. And everybody's just like looking at me like, damn, what's wrong with this girl, you know?
She's struggling.
Yeah. And I was just like we were by the clothes and I can remember just like putting my hand, like, I was like, fuck, like kid you not, like todavía 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they kept getting closer and closer and closer. Let's say it's 3 p.m. My sister put me in a hot tub. Like, she's like, oh, it's going to help you deliver the baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Every time just thinking about it, like traumatizes me. Every time I would get in that hot tub, I would get like 10 times worse contractions.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like my body was like shaking. It was horrible. And finally it hit 5 p.m. and that's when I was like, okay, I can't take it. Like they were trying me, like I was doing the ball, I was doing the bathtub, like on and off. I was doing teas, I was doing everything to dilate. I went to the hospital. I was about 4 centimeters.
Okay.
So it took me a while, dude, for 4 centimeters. Like I feel like
you've suffered for a long time for that.
Yes. And I didn't have them till the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Till Friday morning at 6 a.m.
You suffered that much? That's a long time.
Yeah. No, I wish, como te dije last time, like I wish I would have had somebody that would like to push me to not get the epidural because I got
Really?
the epidural. Yeah.
What made you get it? Like, it was just you, like...
I think my body was in shock.
Okay.
Because it suffered for way too long. And my body was just trembling. Like, they were like, I got to the hospital, they were making me sign papers. And I was like... And, like, the nurse saw me, and I couldn't stop moving. Okay. Like, you can't... I don't know if anybody has experienced that, but like you literally, shakes. Like... Yeah, the shakes. You literally cannot... Like, I was, like, even, like, embarrassed. I'm like, don't look at me, guys. Like,
close your eyes.
Shakes. Horrible. Like, they were moving me beds. And they're okay, honey, like, they moved me to the delivery room. They're like, okay, like, do you want the epidural? And I was like, no. And then they asked me again, do you want the epidural? And I was like, and I asked my husband, and I was like, do you think I should get it? Like, I was like in pain.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you should. And the nurse was like, honey, don't ever ask your husband. This is your decision. You do what you want to do. Always remember that. And I'll always remember that. And I'm like, damn, like, I think I do.
You're like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
The epidural.
Yeah.
And I feel like it also helped for you to relax, because I mean, you had been in so much pain for already 3 days or 2 days.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
It took me a while. And I'm like, we were talking about that, like, about how exercise sometimes helps you to have a baby.
Right.
No. It helps you with the recovery, like you said.
Yeah.
But no, like, it's different for everybody. It could help you. And it could not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
because I mean, how many stories do you hear of a woman that works out their whole pregnancy and has to get a C-section, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I feel like every labor and delivery story is not the same. Like, whatever happened to you, whatever worked for you isn't going to be the same for anyone. So it's like, you can't really prepare for it, because like it's going to happen however it was meant to happen. And
yeah. Because even you hear these stories like, oh, I went in, contractions, 3 hours later I had my baby. Oh, cool. That might happen to me.
Yeah, like, you just never know.
Nope.
Yeah,
never. It's crazy.
So you have him at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. 6:17 a.m. on the
so
dot.
You got the epidural. You felt like you were relaxed. You're like, oh, thank God. Like,
yeah, it took probably 2 hours to kick in completely.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with my body, but
yeah,
they were like, oh, like, and I didn't know there was a button where you can release more.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, hey, like, I was asking my nurse, like, when does the numbing completely go? She's like, oh, like, you're not numb yet? And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh my God, honey, push this button.
You're like, oh, I would have loved that information 2 hours ago.
Yeah. And I was like, boom, 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 like every 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had him, 6:17 a.m. And I think this is where it was hard for me. I only had him in my hands for like 4 seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, here's your baby. He's gone.
Yeah. They're like, oh, he's having a hard time breathing.
Oh,
and I was like,
like, oh my
noodle
God.
in my throat. I was like, what did you just say to me? Like, you know, like, I was just like, screw everybody. What is up? What's happening? Like, they had him right here, like, just to see him and like kiss him and look at him. He cut the umbilical cord, and then they grabbed him right away because he had a hard time breathing. They called in 2 doctors right away. Like, everything happened so fast. They had him literally out of the room as soon as I delivered, out of the room, and within 7 minutes, 5-7 minutes out of the room. They didn't even weigh him right away.
No, they just took him.
God. And I was like,
that is traumatizing.
Yeah. No, like, my heart was like, I was literally bawling my eyes out, like, looking at my sister. I'm like, what just happened? And they're like, nurses are like trying to calm me down. Like, it's fine. It happens. It happens. Like, he's going to be okay. Like, it happens. And I'm like, no, like, what is happening exactly? Like, you need to tell me. And I'm over here, like, with the epidural. I can't move, you know?
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I'm like, don't leave his sight. Whatever you do, don't leave his sight.
Leave me here.
Yeah.
Go with the baby.
So he was with the baby. And we were in the NICU for so I see my baby. Like, the first time I, like, visually, like, sit there and, like, in peace. He's like, it was the saddest thing, because, like, he's connected to, like, tubes, connected to oxygen. I'm like, just thinking about it makes me sad. But he had a bunch of cables around him and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is? They still didn't have any answers for me at that point.
Okay. It was just like he was having trouble breathing.
Okay. Yeah. He was in an incubator. We couldn't grab him yet or anything. Yeah. So he looked really, really tiny and fragile, of course, like any newborn. But they were asking me questions where I was like, what do you mean? You know, like, they were like, are you sure you're not, like, he's not premature?
They're like, are you sure you're this far along?
Yeah, they're like, are you sure his lungs look a little premature? Like, I'm like, no, like, this is the last time I had my period and blah, blah, blah. They asked me a bunch of questions. Oh, also because this isn't my hospital, by the way.
Oh, you didn't go to your hospital?
No, because remember my hospital was far.
45 minutes away.
Yeah, and I was getting contractions so bad that I couldn't wait. This hospital was 4 or 5 minutes away from me.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go.
So they didn't
here.
have your information. Okay.
No. And they're like, are you sure? Like this, he looks a little premature for his lungs. Oh. I'm like, no, like not that I know of. Mm-hmm. Like he's 37 weeks. He's full term.
Yeah.
Right.
Full term.
And he's like, all right. So yeah, we waited. It took them exactly 4 days for them to tell me exactly what he had. So while I was pushing him out, he had swallowed a liquid. Oh. They don't know if it was blood or something from the placenta.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what he was having trouble with.
Yeah. So he swallowed it and it went into his lungs.
Oh, sweet boy.
Yeah. So it was.
So were you discharged without him?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But Mama didn't leave.
You're like, I'm leaving the room, but I'm going straight to the NICU and I'm staying there.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. I never left the hospital ever.
Period.
Never. And the crazy thing, the hospital doesn't let you sleep there. Mm-hmm. You can't. So like if I was sitting there, like looking at him, I was like, they would tell you something. Be like, hey, like, you can't sleep here. You have to go. And yo bien aferrada.
So you didn't sleep?
I didn't sleep.
For those 4 days?
Nope. I would go to the break room and I would take a little nap.
Okay.
That's what I did the first night. And then I did that all the nights. Just the last night, the nurse noticed. I don't know if she was on her lunch break, but I was like sleeping in the break room or the lobby area. She's like, hey, like I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there's a lactation room. Nobody goes in there. And I was like, you should have told me that
3 days ago.
3 days ago. But no, I was like, oh, thank you. Like me se buenas amigas con a couple of nurses. Can we talk about how like cheerful they are while you're pushing?
You got this, Mom.
Yeah. Did they ever take the mirror out?
Oh, I said absolutely not.
They asked me like 4 times. I was like, you know what? Turn it around. I was like,
take the pictures. So you saw him come out?
I saw him like when he was like his head was right there.
Oh my God.
You didn't see it?
Fuck no.
Crazy.
You could not pay me.
No, but like you feel so powerful.
Yeah, it couldn't be me because I feel like for me it was if I see it me va a dar más miedo because I feel like for me that was it was the fear that was eating me alive when I was pushing him out because I'm like I feel the ring of fire and it fucking hurts and I don't want to and I was like if I see it then it's gonna like it's going to set me va a caer el 20 y me voy a desmayar,
sí,
you know? So
sí.
I was like, no, dude, keep the mirror.
And you know what? I think it's different because I couldn't feel anything.
Oh, perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
So did it motivate you? You're like, oh, fuck
it
yeah.
It did, yeah. I would push harder. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they like try to convince me. I was the same. I was like, no, like I don't want to see. Like I'm fine.
And you did. I love that.
Yeah. My baby had a lot of hair. Yeah. The nurse right away, she's like, oh, there's a lot of hair. I was like, hair. Okay.
Like you're just petting my baby and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
I
for
love
real.
that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, back to the NICU.
So you ended up taking a longer nap at the lactation room?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah. Like I still like, because I was trying to just do pure breastfeeding even while he was there, you know, especially like I learned that the first pump is always like the best pump.
Oh, right. The colostrum.
Yeah. So I was just trying to feed him, especially because like, I don't know, my mentality was like, the more I feed him, the more my breast milk is going to find the problem and it's going to solve it.
Yeah, for sure.
Know? So, and I was very frustrated because at first you can't pump. Like it's impossible.
No, because your milk doesn't come in.
No. So I was just like, what's going on? Yeah, so I
can't imagine the frustration that you're like the baby's in the NICU, my milk isn't coming in, and like when you're a first time mom, you're like, when is it gonna come in? You think that you're not producing, but it's like nobody tells you that it takes like 2 days, you know?
Yeah, literally nobody tells you. You're like, all right,
or they try to tell you, and you're like, no, like I'm something's wrong.
Like, no, yeah, like barely salían poquita, and then
Gotitas.
You get your lactation nurse, and she teaches you everything. God bless them, by the way.
For real.
They teach you everything. It's like it's the best thing. I'm like, do you want to come home with me? Or
you're like, can I hire you at my house? So you were there for the 4 days, you said, in the NICU.
Which felt like years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when were you able to hold him?
Well, he finally, like the next day, the second day, they let me just because I was learning to latch him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he latched perfectly fine.
Not really.
It took him a little bit.
Took him a while. Yeah. Wow. It hurts at the beginning. Do you remember?
Like toe curling, gut wrenching.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this.
It's like, damn, like I thought the pain was over.
No.
Keeps going.
I tell a lot of people because they're like, you're not scared to like give labor for Belen. I was like, yeah, I'm scared. Like you can't take the fear out, but it's a recovery that freaking sucks. You know, the bleeding, the pain, the cramps, like your uterus is going.
Pushing. The nurses when they come in,
you're like, please don't.
Every time I would see a nurse, I'm like, oh no, don't get close to me. Yeah. You're like, they're like, I know it hurts, and they're like, oh,
but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
So 4 days, they tell you he's okay. Everything was fine with his lungs.
Yeah, everything was good. Oh, the next day we had an appointment. The day that we were able to leave, we were able to leave in the morning, and we have an appointment the next day at 8 a.m. You know, why would they do that to
for the
first-time
doctor?
parents? For the doctor,
for the baby. Oh my God.
Why would they do that to us?
You're like, are you serious? 8 a.m. is crazy.
Yeah, 8 a.m. We didn't sleep that night, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like you're with a newborn.
You're like, what the hell?
You wake up every 2 to 3 hours. You're like, okay, is he breathing?
Yeah.
Like, is he good? And yeah, we had an appointment. Like we were late. First time parents, like we were super late. Like the stroller, like we didn't know what was going on. Like you should have seen us. It was a movie.
Yeah,
literally. Like we brought the wrong adapter at first. Like it was horrible. And yeah, we got there, and then the nurse was like, "You guys are gonna be fine."
You're like, "Am I?"
Yeah, because she looked at it. Really, we're probably dead. Like
zombies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. To go through it with a person, you know, like that. You went through it twice.
Yeah. I would say the second time is easier. My second labor was harder, but everything comes so naturally. Like,
what was harder about it?
My labor? Well, with Franco, I got there and he was born in 2 hours. Like I get there, they're like, you're at 4. No. I got there at 6 centimeters. Get there, 6 centimeters. They're like doing the COVID testing. I could only have my mom and Jonathan. Literally like an hour goes by and I'm like, no, like I'm feeling it. My doctor's like, I'll come check at you at 9 p.m. to see. And like at 8, I'm like, you need to get in here. Like I can't do this. And they check me. They're like, yep, you're at 10. Let's start pushing.
You were at 10 that quick?
Yeah, super quick. Like I got there at 6:30 and he was born at 8:30. I
remember watching the video and I was like, like choking up. I was like, damn, this is like so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So then with Belen, it was different because my water broke and I didn't break with Franco. Like I broke my own water before I gave birth with him.
Wow.
So with her, my water broke. It was 8 a.m. I didn't have contractions. I was just chilling. But like when it breaks, you get scared. You're like, you obviously can't go without, you can go like 12 hours probably. But I was like, no, I have to go now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wake up, my water breaks at 6. I wake up, I get ready, I do my makeup. I'm like saying bye to Franco. I want breakfast, you know. But I get to the hospital and literally it takes me probably till like 12 to get to like 7-8 centimeters.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, period.
Wow.
Like de aquí, yeah. I'm like de aquí soy. Like I'm gonna have her here soon, right? So I get there at 8. At 12, like 4 hours in, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling them more stronger. And then I get stuck at 9.5 centimeters. So can you imagine the contractions? And I get stuck for an hour at 9.5.
I cannot even imagine.
And
you're strong.
And
you can't even get anything.
Well, because I'm saying like I'm scared, you know. So I was so scared of the epidural that I was like, I'd rather go through like the pain. But at 9.5, the doctor was like, I'm not comfortable with you pushing because your cervix is still there. Like I can still feel a little bit. So if you push through that, you're going to rupture your cervix. So you're going to hurt it, whatever. Yeah. So that's why it was harder because it was like an hour of full on gut wrenching pain when I'm like, I was literally like telling my mom, like, I can't do this. I can't do it. But I'm like, what? The nurses were like, you have to do it, honey. Like you're already here. It's not like they can put the epidural on me, you know? Yeah. So it was just like that little push of having the last half of those.
An hour of contractions. Just the fact
like that. Those strong, like, oh my God, like level 30 contractions.
Just to put it in perspective, one contraction feels like, what, like 5 minutes?
Exactly.
It feels forever.
But okay, so this is the thing that I'm 9.5 centimeters contractions. They're not 10 minutes apart. They're now 30 seconds apart. Like I don't get no break in between. Damn. Like it's a contraction, you know. And I was literally like, I took this out of my videos because I was like, I don't want to traumatize any moms. So I was screaming, crying, throwing up. I was literally laying in the bed, like shaking my head, like uncontrollable. Like it was terrible.
I bet, dude. Terrible. I bet.
Yeah. So then after that, like I teared a little bit. So what was worse then, it was like my doctor was a bitch. I hated her. Sorry. I don't ever say that. But like genuinely now thinking about it, she was really mean. And my first doctor with Franco, a guy, he was amazing. Yeah. Dr. Finnegan, I will never forget you. He retired after that. She was so mean, which is like, you're a woman. Like you're supposed to be nice.
Mean in what way though?
She was just mean. I can't quite remember everything she would say, but I just remember she was terrible.
I do remember like briefly, like I could remember Franco's, and I watched Belen's video. Yeah, but I do remember you talking about a nurse.
It was the doctor, the one that was gonna deliver it. She was so mean, like to the point that she offered me fentanyl for like pain management, but I'm like, no, like you're just being rough. Like she was really rough. Like when she was stitching me up, she was really rough. Like it was terrible. So that's why. Like the second labor was harder, but like the postpartum was super like a breeze. Like I knew when my milk was coming in. With Franco, I had engorged boobs. Like he wasn't latching. We were all screaming, crying, throwing up at 3 a.m. But with Belen, super. So it's like when you do it again, it is a little bit scary, but you're like, okay, like I'm confident. Like I know what to do, you know. But no one prepares you for anything. Like you don't know, because I'm like, I already had Franco, but I knew in the back of my head, I was like, it's not going to be the same, you know? So I better go in with no expectations, you know?
Especially because it's a girl.
Especially. And because my pregnancy was a little different too, you know? But yeah, I feel like no one prepares you. And the fact that you're there and like they take him away first 4 seconds, you're at the NICU, you're not sleeping, you have a doctor's appointment at 8. Like I can see how that was very traumatizing.
Very, very. Like I did not expect any of that.
Because you didn't know what to expect.
No, and like every story I heard around, like, oh yeah, I had my baby in like 3 hours. Yeah. You know, I was with my baby, he slept with me and stuff like that. It's like, don't ever listen to that.
Yeah. Like, don't ever have expectations, because you never know.
Yeah. Don't ever have expectations.
Wow. But I'm so glad that you told me your birth story. I feel like I could talk for probably another 4 hours.
I know, right?
But guys, this has already probably been the most longest podcast we've ever done in my entire life. So I'm going to cut her off here.
Yes. Thank you for having me, by the way.
No, thank you so much for coming. I'm honored to have your story here on Spill the Beans podcast.
Thank you.
But we are going to end it with a new segment I like to call Rapid Fire Q&A. So don't you fear, guys. I can have her back for a part 2 if you want her to go into a little bit more of postpartum
detail,
everything. Please comment down below. But for now, I'm gonna leave you guys with a little bit of a treat. So this is our Q&A jar. So basically we can do like 4, 5, 6, however many.
Okay.
You're gonna open it, you're gonna ask the question, first thing that comes to mind, answer it, go. You're not gonna
I ask it to myself.
No, yeah, like you just read it out loud.
Okay.
You answer it, first thing that comes to mind. You're not going to elaborate. You're not going to tell me why, when, how. Okay. Just rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Yes.
Okay.
So would you like do the honors to be the first guest on our podcast to come?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is new.
This is like, everything's new. Wow. Like this is our rebrand.
It's an honor, guys.
I'm honored.
Okay. Let's see. Tengo miedo.
Okay.
You guys remember that? Tengo miedo.
Tengo miedo. You got this.
Okay. Let's see. What would be your death row meal?
Can you play your...
Oh, okay. What would be your death row meal? Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A? Okay. Okay. I was going to ask you to elaborate, but I'm contradicting myself.
Okay. Okay. If you could relive one day in your life, which one would it be? Any day with my nephew.
Oh.
Any day.
Okay.
Yeah. Any little day. Yeah. I don't know if I can elaborate, right? Okay.
Do you want to?
No,
a little bit?
No, okay. It's okay. Would you rather cheat or be cheated on? Shit. Cheated on.
Okay.
Cheated on. I know.
Damn, I'm over here like, why? But I can't. Okay.
Yeah,
I love this.
Karma? Karma. What is your go-to excuse to get out of plans? My son now.
I can't have baby. I can't. It's nap time. I can't. It's bedtime.
One more?
Yes, let's do one more.
These are good. These are really good.
Thanks.
Wildest thing you've ever done while drunk. This is a bad.
Maybe just any memory that pops up.
Weird, but like me and this friend decided to go on a jog.
While drunk?
while drunk. Weird. Yeah.
Let's run a marathon. I'm
Literally.
drunk. What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one. That's
Yeah.
good.
On a jog.
Wow.
I'll never forget that day. It was pretty funny.
That is so funny. Well, Bella, thank you so much for coming on and updating all of us.
Yes, thank
I'm
you for
so
having
happy.
me.
I'm honored that you even chose to spill the beans.
Yeah,
on
just
Spill the
the
Beans.
setup and everything. I love it. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I'm sure we all got a little bit of closure with this podcast. But of course, if you want a part 2, please don't be afraid to comment down below and tell us what exactly you want to know.
Exactly.
We can do another round of the Q&A because I feel like those were pretty good questions.
Yeah.
Huh?
I feel like you should do them too sometimes.
Should I? Okay, I'll do them one time.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a treat. But for now, we're done for today. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys next week. I will have all her socials linked in the description box so you can go follow her and keep up.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yay Media Group.